What's going on, everybody? It's EricRayweather back here, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you one of the best passing plays in Madden 19. Beats any coverage, very hard to stop, and just a lot to deal with if you don't make the proper adjustments. So if this is your first time checking out one of my videos and you want to stay up to date on the best Madden 19 tips and gameplay all year long, consider hitting the subscribe button below and hitting the bell icon so that you join the notification squad. So today we're back in the Patriots playbook. I still think this is the best playbook in the game. We're going to be back in the gun bunch formation again, one of the best formations in the game for years now. Not as good as last couple years, but it's still very good. And the play we're going to look at is the 5-1-8 hook. Now this is in some other playbooks. I'm pretty positive. I'm almost certain this is in the Titans playbook, and that's another like top 5 to 6 playbook. So Titans playbook and Patriots playbooks would be the best two playbooks that you're going to find this in. I'm pretty much certain of that. But the Patriots playbook to me is the best. Now what's so good about this play is the post route by the B receiver. This route is extremely hard for like the computer or the AI to cover. It's one of those routes that really has to be manually guarded. But if we force our opponent to manually guard a route, then we're dictating where he goes, and that opens other stuff up for us. So if we're going to force him to go back deep and cover that, it's going to open up some other things for us and really allow us to dictate how the game goes. And if he doesn't guard it, then we're just going to keep hitting it. So to set this up, I put RB on a streak, and then I put the tight end on a drag route. Now we're creating on the left, we have a comeback route and the drag route going over to the left. That's going to be a nice high-low read for us. One of those routes is almost always going to be open. So if we force our user to go guard the post, then we just kind of pick the high-low between the comeback and the drag. And that's what makes this play so hard to stop. So the last thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to motion snap this post route out a few steps. You're going to motion him out a couple steps and then snap the ball. That just helps him, helps with the route development, helps him get into open space. You see here against cover 3, there's a nice pocket to lead the pass into. Tom Brady actually led it a little bit too far, surprisingly, but Patterson dove out and secured the ball anyway. But you're always going to have that nice little pocket to throw into. Now you also have the drag underneath, and this is my recommendation. If the drag is there, you take the drag first every time. You want to take the post route, yes, it is the big money, but block sheds aren't too bad online this year on All Pro, but they can happen, so you never want to pass up the safe read. If the drag is there for your 5 to 10 yards, you just take it. If they're not going to sit on it and use it and they're just going to give you a drag every play, you take a drag every play because it's safe. You never have to worry about getting block shedded. It's low risk, high reward. Keep the ball moving. But again, we're going to go back to the post here and show you it's just a nice pocket you can hit it in. Just make sure the possession catch the ball so that you don't like hit the ground or not hit the ground, but like get hit sticked or have them try to rip the ball out. You want to have the best chance possible to secure it. So in order to do that, you have the possession catch the ball. Now again, the drag route's going to be very consistent against a cover 3. You should get about 7 yards pretty much anytime you throw this against a standard cover 3. Now if they start shading underneath and if they say, okay, well we want to take away the drag and shade underneath and then go manually guard the post, well that is when the comeback route opens up, and the comeback route is nasty this year. You just throw a bullet pass right when it cuts. You don't even have to pass lead it. Man defense can't cover this and deep zones can't cover this, and that's what a cover 3 is. They have deep zones out there. This route is going to toast that deep zone every time. So if they shade underneath to try to take away your drag, you're going to have the comeback for an even bigger gain. So it's actually a bad move on their part to do that. Now let's say they shade underneath, like I said, and they're going to go, we're going to simulate them user in the post, so I'm going to man this linebacker up on the post. Well, when they do that, they're taking a zone away from this area. So you can still hit the drag in this instance, you just have to hit it a little bit earlier, like right there. You hit it quick, and then you go up the field again. We got 7 yards, because if they're going to go user that post, well, that's taking another zone away from the middle of the field. Now here against a cover 2, the post is going to be really good against a cover 2, and we have to go to the replay on this because the post was open. We're going to show you that, but this is the type of like blocking issues that I have such a problem with in Madden. Alright, the guy got the instant win on the outside, fine. But James White comes over, the running back, to block him, and he just lets him run right around him. He doesn't even attempt to block him. Like, that should have not been a sack there. But anyway, as you can see, the post butt naked over the middle of the field. Cover 2 is even worse to run this against. Cover 3, it still gets open, but it's at least a little bit of a tighter window. You got to thread the needle a little bit. Cover 2, it's just naked over the middle of the field because that mid-read is going to run back there and try to guard the streak. And that's because we're motioning the post out a little bit. By doing that, that mid read's not really recognizing the post route immediately because it's not an immediate threat. It's not nowhere in his area, so he's just taking the only route that's really in his area that's a threat, which is the streak. But by that opens the post up. Now again, you see you can still hit the drag route as well. Drag route's going to be money against pretty much anything that isn't shaded underneath. The only difference is you have to wait a little bit longer to hit it against cover 2. Now you can quick pass it right off the rip if you want. You can do that, but you're limiting yourself to 3 to 4 yards by doing that because that zone's going to clamp right down on it. You can do it if it's 4th and 2 and that's all you're trying to pick up is a couple yards, but you can do that. But otherwise, wait, the zone's going to pass him off. The yellow zone on the outside is going to pass him off, and you see we can still pick up our 7 yards. You can hit it a little bit quicker against a cover 3, but at cover 2 you have to kind of wait for the zone to pass him off. But I mean, it's still, perfectly fine. Now, another adjustment you might run into online, people putting the middle linebacker in a deep blue. That's supposed to help stop post routes, but that's going to make it even worse on this play because when you have a streak on the same side as the post, that deep blue is always going to run with the streak. Same thing happened last year. It's the same thing this year. That deep blue is always going to run with the streak. So again, you're leaving the post butt naked wide open. So if they do that on the field and they say, okay, they might make that adjustment and say, okay, this is going to stop the post. It's not going to stop the post. It's going to actually leave it even more open. So while that is usually a smart adjustment in some situations, in this one, he's just running the zone further off the field quicker. That's all he's doing. The mid read takes a little bit longer to drop back. In this instance, that deep zone is just going to run out of the play even quicker. Now, if they were to shade underneath and use the post, same kind of concept that we did with the cover 3. They shade underneath, they use the post. Well, again, you have the comeback route because they're shading underneath, that cloud flat's coming down to the hard flat, and you're leaving a bunch of space in between the hard flat and that deep safety. He can't cover that comeback route. So no matter what, you're good money there. Now, man defense, this play is going to torch man defense as well. This post, there's 2 different ways you can throw this post against man. You can throw it quickly like this because look at the separation he creates. Now, that time he just let the ball bounce off the back of his helmet for some reason, but we'll throw it again. But because of this motion, this post route is unbumpable. So we're playing man defense, but watch, the cornerback gets lost and we can just throw a quick pass like this and we actually are going to score a touchdown here. So that's, if someone wanted to play man on you, they're going to be really out of luck with this play because that just gives you an insanely quick pass, or insanely good quick pass that's unbumpable, that's going to just toast man. Now, if you want to wait a little bit longer and throw the post as it cuts, you can do that as well. Cornerback, we played it a little bit tight there. We still got a good completion, but the cornerback actually played that tight there. We'll run it again. Usually you do get more separation than that. Keep in mind, Patterson's not a good wide receiver. He's not a good route runner by any means. But you see that time, I mean, that's a separation you usually get on this post. And if you have a good route runner there, then you're going to get that regardless every single time. But as you can see, you have 2 different ways to throw the post. If the quick pass is there, personally, I'm taking that quick pass because it's just, why not? Now, of course, you have the tight end drag, especially if you have a little bit of speed there, or, a good tight end like a Gronk. You're going to blow off the line and usually get some good separation there. And now, last but not least, against man defense, you have the comeback route, which is really, really good against man defense on the break. The trailing defender there just made like a Superman jump into the air to swat that, which, that's whatever. That might happen sometimes. Sometimes, the CPU, like, if they're in the vicinity, they'll get like that Superman jump in the air animation. But as you can see, look at how much separation Dorsett gets on the cornerback. And again, Dorsett's not a good wide receiver in the game. His route running is not good. He's not. None of the Patriots really wide receivers that are in the game currently are like that great in the game. But you can see the separation he's getting because the comeback route is just that good. It's always been good, but it's really, really good this year. So 518 hook, I mean, flat out, as you can see, one of the best plays in the game. And there's other ways you can play around with this and set this up as well. This isn't the only, the only right way to set it up. There's tons of different ways you can look to set this play up. So, play around with it. You might find some other setups you like, but I think this one's a good base setup that can, like you can see, destroy all the popular coverages you're going to go against. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, as always, just drop a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.